Hi, I'm Maria Walther,
And I'm Jessica Walsh.
and we are two traveling teachers. And as we have since April, we're not traveling anywhere together, but we're meeting and talking about books via Zoom. So we were thinking about our theme for this book talk, and we decided to do inspiration, people and book characters who inspire us. So Jess is going to kick us off.
Yes, I love this book. Loretta Little Looks Back, Three Voices Go Tell It by Andrea Davis Pinkney with illustrations by Brian Pinkney, who we love. This is a beautiful, beautiful middle grade book meant to be read aloud. It is meant to be shared out loud, performed. It is not a novel in verse, but it is poetry. The writing is poetry. It's beautiful. In this book, we get to bear witness to three generations of the Little family, told in theatrical monologue. So there's a lot you could do with this in the classroom, besides just enjoy it just for the pure story, the pure beauty of it. But it's also history infused. So we go through time across these three generations through Reconstruction, through the Civil Rights Movement. And it's just a beautiful mentor text for voice. I mean, the characters come alive off the page. Three distinct voices that have this thread of their history throughout the book. So lots you can do with this in the classroom. And of course, I just have to share Brian Pinkney's gorgeous illustrations. You know, he's got that
Yes, well,
circular
remember when we
swoop.
saw him
Yes.
illustrating in his notebook?
Live, yeah, in front of
Yeah.
us at the table. Yeah, so that swoop, that circular marker that we know is his style. So that's Loretta Little Looks Back, Three Voices Go Tell It.
And I'm going to pair that with Ruby Bridges, This Is Your Time. This comes out on November, I wrote it out, November 10th, but November 14th is the 60th anniversary of the day that Ruby walked into the William Franz Elementary School. So this book is a letter to young peace movement, young people who are going to carry on the peace movement. And it's really special to me because I've told Jess this before. My mom was a woman before her time, and she engaged in anti-racist work in the 50s and in the 60s and carried it on with our daughter. So this is Katie, our daughter, and we got to meet Ruby Bridges at the Chicago Historical Society, which was an amazing event. And I'm just going to read one little piece. What they did in this book is they put real photographs of Ruby, but then real photographs of her time and real photographs of our time, back to back. And it just says this: protests continue in the streets across America and far beyond. I am so inspired by you and by everyone out there making change happen. I know you must remember what can inspire tomorrow often lies in our past. May my past, my story inspire you. The first steps toward change are never easy, but 6-year-old Ruby Bridges taught us that it is necessary to take those steps. Just a beautiful, beautiful book. And you could pair that with, of course, the picture book by Robert Coles. And so that is Ruby Bridges, This Is Your Time.
Oh, I can't wait to read that.
It's beautiful.
All right, speaking of other strong women, I'm excited to share this young adult novel, this beautiful book, Foria by Shamile Sayed Mendez. This is a story of Camila, whose nickname on the football field or soccer field is Furia, because that's where her kind of warrior spirit comes out. On the field, she can walk away from her oppressive father at home, from the patriarchal society. This is set in Argentina, so there's a historically patriarchal tradition in our homeland, and so she's trying to push back against that. And she's an incredibly gifted soccer player among a family of gifted soccer players, her brother, a childhood friend. And when her childhood friend comes back into town, childhood sweetheart comes back into town, she struggles with a lot of things in life, the violence at home from her father, and just trying to have it all, trying to prove to herself and to everyone around her that she can have it all. And so there's a line in this book that I love that kind of like just made me think of all the strong women in my past and in my family. It says, with a deep breath, I summon the spirits of my loved ones. I have their warrior fire inside me. And so this would be a great book club book for like a coming of age theme or unit. or just a deep character study, because the character of Furia is so just so unique. And I feel like the cover artist did an incredible job too of capturing that on
Okay,
the
and we saw Shamile the same
we
day.
yes, right, the same day as Brian Pinkney. Yes.
Yes, because she wrote Where Are
In
You
the same
From?
session. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
she wrote
so this is her YA debut. So, and
Huh,
it's got tons of starred reviews. It's gorgeous, beautiful. It's an inaugural Reese Witherspoon YA book club choice. So the first young
wow.
adult book club choice from Reese Witherspoon. So much to celebrate with this book, and it's just an empowering story of this incredible girl. So that's Furia by Shamile Syed Mendez.
All right. And then I'm going to pair that with One Girl. So this is by um, Andrea Beatty, who of course gave us all of the Rosie Revere books.
Yes.
And so this is very different. It's illustrated by Dow Pumerick, and the illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. It's about a girl who is magically transformed and literally transformed by a book. So it's hard to see, but that's a book coming through the air. So it says, one girl, one spark, faint and fading in the dark, flicker, 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 glow. And then it's her story of going to school and being educated. In the author's note, Andrea talks a little bit about how we live in a world where many young girls and women are not afforded the opportunity of an education. So this really highlights the importance of that, the importance of books, the importance of reading, and how this little girl, through books and school, finds her power to share her knowledge with others. So it's just a beautiful, inspiring read. One Girl.
I love these two covers, like side by side too.
Oh yeah, look at them.
The color palette is very similar. So look at us.
I know.
All right.
Somewhat planned.
And then yes,
but not that planned.
Right. No, I know. It's kind of works out. It's the magic of books. And so I'm going to wrap it up. My third inspiring book has inspired me so much and taught me so much. It's called A Queer History of the United States for Young People by Michael Bronsky and adapted by Richie Chevet. This is, we're wrapping up October, which is LGBTQ plus History Month. And so I can't think of a better way than to share a book about the queer history of the United States. So it includes a look at some of the figures that have contributed to the history of the United States that are members of the LGBTQ plus community, whether or not they had that identifier at the time. I mean, this goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. And so what I love about this book too is it acknowledges the fact that terminology when you're talking about historical figures are there's a fine line, because these terms weren't around then, but so you're using a little bit of contemporary thinking applied to that history, but really inspiring stories to affirm to everyone today that these identities are here and they have been here for a very long time. So this is a must-have young adult nonfiction book for your collection. So that's A Queer History of the United States for Young People by Michael Bronsky.
And then we're going to end with rainbows, also because October is LGBTQ plus month. And this is Rain Before Rainbows by Smriti Prasadam Halls. I book talked one of her other books earlier, I'm Sticking With You, when we did friendship. And this is another just inspiring book about a girl who goes on a journey. She does face some challenges on that journey. She's helped by others on that journey. And to end our time together, I'm going to read the end of this book. It says, rain before rainbows, cloud before sun, night before daybreak, a new day is begun. A day full of promise, a day full of light. The morning is breaking and the morning is bright. And so we hope that we have inspired you with some great books. We're two traveling teachers, and we'll be back next time with some more great books. See you next time.